Good morning, everyone. It is 9:32. Welcome back to the program. Lou and Jackie here, being joined by a couple of people, very special people, Jackie, that live in Urbandale and Stivers, Ford, Lincoln. Downright proud to salute organizations, and this one definitely ucan is what they call this, Jackie. It is the Urbandale Community Action Network, and we have a couple joining us. We have Laura Holmes, the executive director, and also Ann Mershman, a volunteer for the organization for about a decade now. So we're going to learn all about this. This is kind of a neat group.
Yeah, so Laura, let's talk about the organization, but a specific thing that you guys are doing right now for seniors.
Well, we have been providing transportation for seniors for about 18 years in Urbandale. Free transportation for seniors and disabled residents that can't get out to the grocery store or to doctor's appointments. Just kind of everyday things that you and I probably take advantage of.
That we jump in the car and go to, yeah.
Right. And so now we're really at a point where we're seeing our volunteer pool is dwindling as some of our volunteers are getting older, snowbirding, but our need continues to rise. We have so many clients that need just a ride to the grocery store. And we have right now about 15 volunteers because we've got a lot of people on vacation. So we really are looking for people in the community that can come out and help, just provide a ride for a neighbor in need.
Now, are the vehicles provided, or do you need your own vehicle, or how does that work?
You need your own vehicle.
Okay.
We have basically the only requirements are that you have your own vehicle. You can be very flexible, have valid insurance, and of course have a driver's license. Those are the main things. You don't need like a chauffeur's license.
How many
or anything
rides?
like that.
Okay. How many rides do you give a day, for example?
Well, it varies. For a typical month, we provide about 120 round trip rides for residents that live in Urbandale. We take people all anywhere in the metro area. Like I said, a lot of grocery stores, a lot of doctor visits, a lot of those. And our typical clients are just elderly people that don't drive anymore and don't have a lot of family around. A lot of people might not have anyone else to rely on, and so we're really their family for them here to get them to those important
kind of
appointments.
A companion at the same time.
Exactly.
Like they obviously have a purpose of getting somewhere, but they just want to have someone to talk to as well.
And that's another thing that we're hoping to to introduce later down the road, is to be able to have a companion program for seniors. A lot of people don't realize that there are so many people that might be living right next door that even just a phone call or drop in for 5 minutes to check on them and say hi can make such a difference for them and can really brighten their day.
Now, how can somebody utilize your service? What do they need to do? They need to get on a schedule, or they just pick up the phone? What's the easiest way?
So basically for a new client, we go out, myself and one of my volunteers would go out and interview them and kind of explain the process of what we can do for them. Because not only can we provide transportation, we also help with yard cleanups in the spring and the fall.
Oh, wow.
How about that?
Yeah, well, I'll call you this spring. We're going to have a really good one, and I'll get a very big yard for you to take care of.
I'm used to it. Yeah. I have a riding mower. I'll bring it over. John Deere.
Yeah. So we explain kind of all of our programs. We also provide just like handyman services, so not like big repairs, but we have a lot of people that can't change their furnace filter or change their light bulbs. So we have a lot of great volunteers that'll go out and do that for people. So they can call our office. The number is 515-278-3999, and then we can get an application out to them. And some people we can't help. If someone is strictly confined to a wheelchair, or if they're bedridden, we really can't help them. That's not the services we can provide, but we can certainly connect them to other organizations.
Say, but you know who can. Right.
And another thing that we're going to be working on, in fact tomorrow, is to kind of test the waters to see how our volunteers would respond to, like I mentioned, this companion program.
Right.
So at the holiday time, we did Santa for seniors. So we had a number of people that we went and visited and brought cookies and cards. So now we're going to be doing this for Valentine's Day. So,
how fun.
So tomorrow from 2 to 4 at Lions Park Shelter, which is at 72nd and Prairie Avenue, the big place where all the Urbandale 4th of July activities take place. I'm sure you guys know that. We're going to be right there creating cards or signing cards, or you can make a card at home with your kids and drop it off. And then we have a number of clients that we're going to be able to either mail those to or hand deliver them.
Now, you mentioned volunteers, and you've been volunteering for the organization for a long time. How long have you been there?
I think it's been about 10 years now.
And what first drew you to the organization?
Well, I thought it would be easy to help people in my neighborhood and in Urbandale, to take them to the grocery store or to the beauty shop, just a quick little trip. And I just thought, I can do that. It isn't a huge commitment, and I thought that's something that would fit into my life.
How long does a typical trip take? If someone calls and they want your assistance, what does it usually take you?
Well, probably an hour out of my day. I could drop them off at the beauty shop and go back and get them in an hour, or go to the grocery store and maybe just go with them and get some of their groceries and help them, and that usually is less than an hour.
And how does that make you feel?
Well, it feels wonderful helping mostly women get out of the house and assisting them with little things. It's not a big project that I have to do, and it makes a big difference to them.
Now, have you created relationships with some people that you give rides to?
Yes, I feel like that I've become friends with 2 or 3 of the ladies,
Yeah.
and it's just fun to see them again and hear about their families. And one lady, I discovered her son went to our church, and I got to meet her, and she passed away just a few months ago, and it was really a wonderful connection to know her and to know her son at church, and realize that, you know, I could help out when he wasn't available.
Now, you were saying that volunteers were kind of doing a call out this morning if you're interested to get in touch with you guys. So what would you say to people out there that was like, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. I can offer an hour of my time to help people out. What would you say to kind of convince them that this is something they need to check out?
Well, I would just encourage people to think about fitting that into their life and into their day. You don't really go a long ways away. You know, the metro isn't that big of a space, and it's easy to just run to the grocery store, and I just kind of try to fit that into my day if I'm going to be driving somebody, and it's just a little thing, but it means a lot to these people that don't have anybody else.
How much in advance do you get a notice that you're going to give somebody a lift somewhere?
Oh, they'll call me. I just got a call today as we were waiting.
Her phone's ringing right
As we were
now.
waiting in the other room, they called and needed a ride. A lady needed to go to the grocery store this afternoon. So I said, well, I can do it this afternoon after lunch. So
Okay.
sometimes it happens like that, or sometimes they'll say, well, I need drivers for next week. You know, I've got 3 different options, you know, and so they tell me, well, do this time. And I said, well, okay, I'll take this one. This will work into my day. So,
Okay.
So there are options
Definitely.
to
Yeah.
kind of work with people's schedules.
Right, and then we
Right.
do have some scheduled rides. So we provide transportation for a lot of people to go to the Urbandale Senior Center, which you know, some people think, well, it's just you know,
For
why-
activities, yeah.
Yeah, no one. That's not like a a real need, but it really is. I mean, just to be able to get out and interact with other people is huge. And I was telling Ann as we were waiting. I had a new client that I went and visited, and she was you could just tell really, really quiet and shy, almost seemed a little depressed. I'm not a doctor, so I can't, diagnose that, but I could just tell she really needed to interact with people. And I drove her to the senior center, which is the Urbandale Senior Center, which is wonderful. And when I went back to pick her up, I thought she was a different person. The way that you
Really?
could tell, and it was just that one day that she had interaction, and the way that she then talked to me and was so grateful. And it literally it took me 15 minutes to go and do that. So it means so much to people, and I like to talk a lot about paying it forward. Believe it or not, all 4 of us are probably going to be old at some point, older, and maybe not be able to drive. And I'm lucky. I come from a big family and have a lot of people around, but there are so many people that just don't have anyone, and so I really like to say paying it forward, and I think just to create that sense of community that I think a lot of us have lost as we've got so busy with jobs, and it's a great opportunity for people to connect to new people that they maybe would never ever meet, and it's easy. It's just easy, and it makes you feel good because you're making a really big impact for a lot of people.
So remind everybody again, if they would like to volunteer and be a wonderful one like Ann over here, or they're interested in the service, what's the best way to get in touch with you
Well,
guys?
you can call us at 515-278-3999. You can also email us. My email address is info, just info, @urbandalenetwork.org. You can also visit our website, which is urbandalenetwork.org, and also check our Facebook page. We post a lot of different opportunities on our Facebook page as well.
And remind everybody of that great Valentine event that's coming up as well.
Tomorrow from 2 to 4 at Lions Park Shelter at 72nd and Prairie. Come on out. We'll have we'll have items there for you to sign, to write cards or to make cards. But we thought it would be a great opportunity for kids to think of an elderly person that might not have anyone. They can make a card tonight at home, and you can drop it off. And we've got literally hundreds of people that will be able to get those to.
Wonderful.
What
Well,
a
thank you for
great
the great
concept,
work you
yeah.
guys are doing, and thanks for
Thank
being such a
you.
wonderful volunteer all these years.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Ann.
Thank you.
We will be right back. It is 9:42 right now. You are watching CW Iowa Live in West Des Moines. When we return, totally serious news and a totally outrageous costing cup of coffee. That's coming up next.